What is going on, everyone? Anthony here, and welcome to another news break for Resident Evil here on Let's Talk Resident Evil. Now, this is another topic that we were kind of expecting, but, you know, this is something that's been in the works for a while. We knew a movie reboot was coming, but with the live-action series coming to Netflix and the animated CGI series coming to Netflix, we have another live-action adaptation, if you will. This is a Resident Evil origin story that was announced today by Deadline, and let me read what it says. So, Resident Evil Reboot, and more to star in the origin story adaptation. Constantine Films has set in motion a new adaptation to add to the ever-expanding Resident Evil movie franchise. Constantine and writer-director Johannes Roberts said Tuesday that they have conceived an official origin story adaptation with faithful ties to Capcom's classic survival horror games. The story is set in 1998 on the fateful night in Raccoon City. So this seems to be covering the first two games, according to what they say down here. Now, they have this whole thing casted already, so that's going to be the biggest controversy thing about this whole thing, is whether or not people think that, you know, these actors will actually fit the roles. We won't really know until we see it on screen. But really, the main thing here is the material going to be good? Every time we have these people come in and say that they know Resident Evil and they know the origin story of Resident Evil, or they know the true spirit of Resident Evil, have we ever gotten an actual adaptation that was worthy? No, I don't think so. Not true to the original material. Maybe they tried something different. They tried to bring in new characters. The live-action Netflix series is doing something completely fucking different. This right here is trying to cover the origin stories of Resident Evil that we know. Doesn't mean it's going to do it, and it doesn't mean that I have faith and John has faith, because John isn't here with this video. John didn't even want to be here right now because he's like, I don't want to fucking talk about this shit. Don't blame him, but we have to cover it, right? So, starring in the roles of the iconic game characters will be Maze Runner's Kea Scodelario as Claire Redfield, alongside Hannah John Kamen from Ant-Man and Wasp as Jill Valentine. So, yes, they have our cast for our Claire and our Jill. Something that we didn't know we were going to see past the Paul W.S. Anderson shit show. Robbie Amell from Upload, which I don't know what Upload is, but he plays Chris Redfield, and Tom Hopper from the Umbrella Academy as Albert Wesker. Fucking Albert Wesker. And Yvonne Jogia from Zombieland Double Tap as Leon S. Kennedy. Now, I know exactly who this guy is. Remember in Zombieland 2, the guy with the big bag of weed, that the guy comes, like, the guy takes Wichita, or no, it's Little Rock, takes Little Rock with him. That's the guy that they have playing Leon S. Kennedy. Take that for what you will. Don't know if he fits Leon. I don't think so. But, you know, again, if his acting abilities are, you know, up to par and he brings in that Leon S. Kennedy that we all know and love, he's going to be the RPD Leon, according to what this says. It doesn't say that exactly, but bear with me, okay? So, he's going to play Leon. And then we have Neil McDonough from Yellowstone as William Birkin. So we got Jill, we got Chris, we got Leon, we got Claire, we got Wesker, we got Birkin. We got 6 characters confirmed and casted. Is the material going to be good? Well, I haven't seen The Maze Runner, and I haven't seen other things that some of these actors have been in besides Zombieland Double Tap. I've seen the guy who plays Leon in that movie, and it is what it is. He wasn't really like a memorable character in that movie anyway. But this is what the director and filmmaker behind the shark thriller 47 Meters Down has to say. With this movie, I really wanted to go back to the original first 2 games and recreate the terrifying, visceral experience I had when I was first playing the games, then while at the same time telling a grounded human story about a small, dying American town, and feels both relatable and relevant to today's audiences, said Roberts, the filmmaker behind the shark thriller 47 Meters Down. So franchise producer Robert Kulzer will produce again on behalf of Constantine Films with James Harris from T-Shop Productions and Hartley Gorenstein. These names are very interesting. Said Kulzer, after a dozen games, 6 live-action movies, and hundreds of pages of fan fiction, we felt compelled to return to the year 1998 to explore the secrets hidden in the walls of the Spencer Mansion and Raccoon City. So, they're probably going to cover 1 and 2. Maybe not 3, but maybe 1 and 2. Sony Pictures Screen Gems will once distribute the film domestically, which Constantine handling German-speaking territories, Elevation Distribution in Canada, Metropolitan in France, and Sony Pictures releasing international, handling much of the remaining territories. So they're basically saying Constantine Films, the same studio that picked up the other Paul W.S. Anderson movies, are going to be handling distribution for this one in all its respected countries. Paul W.S. Anderson also, wrote and directed the other 6 films, which it says they made $1.2 billion, blah, blah, blah. And then they also say in this article that there's a Netflix series that's coming out that's also live action. McDonough recently wrapped the Western thriller Redstone, for which he is executive producing and starring in, and is currently shooting Apex opposite Bruce Willis for director Edward Drake. So this is a bunch of stuff that, say what you will. So from this article, we know that this reboot is going to be focused on the first 2 games. Are you guys happy about this? Because I am not looking forward to this, to be honest with you. I think here at Let's Talk Resident Evil, I can speak for John as well, that we just don't have a lot of faith in the live action adaptations. We don't really have any kind of faith in the Netflix show that's going to be completely new material. And you might be saying, well, Anthony, why don't you have faith? Because it is going to be talking about, the first 2 games is going to be covering that. It's going to be covering those characters, maybe the BOWs. We're going to see Birkin. We're going to see Wesker. But how well are they going to do this? What are they going to change? They're trying to cater towards, modern audiences. So is it going to be good horror? Is it going to be bad horror? Is it not going to be horror at all? Is it just going to be a bunch of action? They can base it off the first 2 games, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be an accurate thing that we wanted. It's going to be everything that we want. Like, just because they say that, they're just saying that to get you guys to not turn away from this press release, okay? They want to have the fans zoned in on this thing. But at the end of the fucking day, we know how Hollywood can fuck up everything, right? I'm a big fan of movies, and I've seen studios completely burn down franchises to the ground that they're trying to build off, whether it's source material or new material itself. The only problem is that there's so much there's so much Resident Evil material that I feel like they are going to try to, base it around the first 2 games, but I think they're going to change a lot of stuff that we know and love. And I don't know how to feel about that. Do you want to see a movie and see the exact same thing you want to see in the games, or do you want to see something completely different? Sure, when you're making a movie and you're writing a script, it's different. You're going to write it differently. You're going to approach it differently as a filmmaker to make it translate on screen. But you don't have to change it enough to where it's completely, butchered from the source material. And that's why I don't think we're really excited about this here on Let's Talk Resident Evil. We'll stick to our CGI animated films that are canon to the actual games. And we'll play the new games. And we'll talk about the new games. And I'm sure we'll cover this as it unfolds. And there's more stuff that's happening. With COVID still being a thing, productions are starting up again. So I'm sure that the fact that this is casted, I have no doubt that they'll start filming this really soon. So we'll probably start seeing, screenshots and set pieces and everything leak out. So maybe we'll start to make an opinion as it rolls closer. But from this article, guys, we're not really excited here on Let's Talk Resident Evil. Let us know what you think down below. Hit that like button for this, not so great news, I guess. But hit the like button if you're, if you're enjoying our content so far. We're doing a lot of stuff covering Resident Evil Village. We're doing the Legacy series tonight. And moving on towards the other games as well. So there's more brighter news to look forward to. And especially with the news of the CG film, or series, I should say, CGI series that's based off the games. I'm looking forward to all that stuff as opposed to whatever the hell this is. So looking forward to that, but hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more Let's Talk Resident Evil, and let us know down in the comments below what you think of this Resident Evil reboot news. We knew it was coming. We just didn't know that they were going to be announcing and casting this thing officially so soon. Let us know what you think down in the comments. Catch you next time.
This video was brought to you by our supporters over on Patreon, where users like Brittany Kempf make it possible to keep on delivering awesome content. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Whoa, 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 what's wrong with subscribing? Come on, don't leave me hanging. Hit that subscribe button for more Let's Talk Resident Evil content.